I'm going to show you how to go from zero to over $5,000 per month on YouTube in 2026. Just like Heather, who we took from zero to over 5K per month in under 90 days of starting her YouTube channel. And it all comes down to a simple strategy that anyone watching this video can start to implement today to make life-changing amounts of money and turn YouTube into their full-time career. We're going to go over how to set up your channel for monetization, how to make the right videos that actually make money, and how to earn your first dollar in the next 7 days. Just like I've also done for myself, building a multi-six-figure business on YouTube in the last 2 years. Now, there are really two paths to making money on YouTube. And the first one is the classic one that you've probably heard of, and that is getting monetized. But there's a very specific strategy to get monetized quickly that 99% of small YouTubers have never heard before. And in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can copy it and use it to get monetized this month. To get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. But to get this, the average person needs to post around 27 videos. But you are only going to make 3. And if you want to get monetized fast, you need to first make what is called a growth hacking video. This is a video talking about a bigger creator or a public figure in your industry. For example, this video by Instantly AI, a software that talks about cold email, that made a video breaking down Alex Hormozi's $100 million cold email strategy. Now, if they made a video saying how to start cold email, it would probably get 1,000 views at best. But because they growth hacked, they were able to get that video to 100,000 views. Another great example of this is Patty Galloway, who blew up talking about other YouTubers' growth strategies. This allowed him to leverage their names and get a large portion of their audience over to his channel. But this is only the first of 3 videos that you need to make in order to get monetized fast. The second is a news hacking video. This is a video that talks about a recent news event, just like this video that I made about a recent algorithm update on YouTube. This video blew up to 52,000 views in a single week because it was about such a hot topic that everyone was searching for. And right now, there's also been a ton of news about ICE raids going down in the States. So we used that news to blow up an immigration lawyer's channel from scratch in only 4 videos. Now he's already making over $500 per month from his YouTube channel. But these are really just short-term videos to reach monetization. To really reach the 5,000 per month mark, you need to make the third type of video that I'm currently using to blow up Heather's channel from scratch, where she's only 6 months into posting and is already generating over $5,000 every single month from her channel with AdSense alone. These are called outlier videos. And they are when you take a video that already worked with another creator, like this video that we turned into this video for Heather. The key with these is that you want to find videos that have a lot of views, but not a lot of subscribers. This means that the video worked because it was a good idea, not because it came from a big channel. So if you can find a video that has 1 million views on a channel with less than 100,000 subscribers, you've essentially struck YouTube gold. But Lyndon, I've already tried copying other big creators and it doesn't work. When I first started on YouTube, I thought the exact same thing. I was posting videos that I copied from other big creators and they were stuck getting only 100 views. It was super discouraging and there were so many days that I really wanted to give up. But then I made a discovery that took my channel from around 100 views per video to over 10,000 views per video. It all came down to my execution. Frankly, my titles and my thumbnails just weren't as good as my competition. If you're going to copy someone else's video, you need to do it better than them. Spend more time on your script, your thumbnail, even maybe hire a designer. Anything that you can do to possibly be better than them. Like for example, this video that we did for Heather. As you can see, the thumbnail is objectively higher quality than the other one. And the crazy part is that you only really need to beat the other video on one aspect. That could be the title, the thumbnail, the scripting, the editing. And if you want me to work one-on-one with your channel to help you create videos like this, and this, then go ahead and click the first link in the description. And if you follow this strategy, you will get monetized in between 30 and 90 days. And you will be able to start earning from ads on your videos, which is the first step to getting to $5,000 per month. But how much can you really make from AdSense? Well, it comes down to your RPM. RPM stands for revenue per mil, and it is the amount of money that you actually get paid per 1,000 views. So if you have an RPM of 5, then you get paid $5 for every 1,000 views. So a 10,000 viewed video would get you $50. But most people don't know that you can actually change your RPM. It all comes down to the countries that you talk to. There's something called the Big 3: the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia. These are the most profitable countries that you can talk to. And if you can get over 40% of your audience to be inside of these countries, then your RPM will skyrocket, sometimes going to over $50 for certain niches, meaning only 10,000 views could be $500 instead of $50. You first do this by looking and speaking like the people in those countries. Now, for some of you, that won't be possible, so go on to number 2. Number 2 is researching and talking about topics that are interesting to those people. So for example, for Heather, she talks about sourdough. That's a topic that's very interesting to people in the West. Now, it applies to everyone all over the world, but I'd say majority of sourdough bakers are Western. Then you want to also use fonts and branding that speaks to them. These are fonts and text like this compared to fonts and text like this. But you can also increase your AdSense by making changes in your YouTube settings. The first change is making sure your mid-roll ads are activated. So let me dive into my computer and show you how to do that. So to enable proper mid-roll ads to increase your RPM, what you need to do is go into YouTube Studio and then go find the video that you want to edit. Now you should be doing this for all of your videos once you're monetized. So from here, you want to go down into monetization. Make sure monetization is turned on, obviously, and make sure that you have showing mid-rolls during my video. However, what you do want to do is now go to manage ad slots. So as you can see right here, we have manual ad slots turned on. Now what you'll see is that I essentially put an ad. This did not look like this before, by the way. This was, they had like one ad here, and then like one ad here. But that's not what we want. We want to maximize our RPM. And we don't want to spam people with ads either, because that's just not cool. Nobody likes that. So what we want to do is we want to add an ad about every 3 to 5 minutes. That's typically the time frame that I like to go for. So I'll leave no ads on for the first 3 minutes of the video. Then we'll add an ad here. Then we'll let about 5 minutes pass, add an ad here, 5 minutes pass, add an ad here, 4 minutes pass here, add an ad here, 4 minutes, add an ad, and then add an ad right at the end. The reason why we're doing this, because frankly, it's annoying to have an ad pop up every 3 to 5 minutes, is because YouTube doesn't show all the ads. They only show about 50% of them. So realistically, what you're doing is you're actually placing an ad once every 10 minutes. And that's about the average time that you should place an ad, every 6 to 10 minutes. So right here, this is completely fine. And if you space them out more than that, then you're going to be showing an ad like once in your video, right? Which is obviously going to make the amount that you make per view go down. So you can actually just add more ad slots. Don't add too many. Like I said, you want to keep it so that someone's seeing an ad roughly every 6 to 10 minutes, and that should bump your RPM up significantly. Go ahead and click continue on that. If you have automatic ad slots turned on, that's completely fine. You can leave it as that. I always do manual and then space them out 3 to 5 minutes apart. Now that you know about ads, the next step is sponsorships. And just this month, I made an extra $2,000 from one sponsored video. Now, sponsorships are where a company pays you to talk about their product or service. There are 3 types of sponsored videos: sponsored segments, dedicated videos, and long-term sponsors. Sponsored segments are essentially where a company pays for 30 to 60 seconds of your video, where you talk about their company to your audience. So the first kind of sponsor is a sponsored segments, and that's where you have a 10-minute video, right? Let's say that this duration is 10 minutes. And then you essentially have the sponsor a small section of it. So that could be a section right at the beginning, so this little area, or that could be a section maybe around the 3-minute mark right here. Or it could be, on the other half of the video, the second half, or it could be right at the very end. Now, most of the time you're gonna be doing between 30 and 60 seconds. So this would be 30, and then this would be 60. If you do a 30-second sponsor, you're going to charge less. If you do a 60-second sponsor, you're going to charge more. Now, the big thing that you need to understand here is that you can actually change the price of your sponsorship based on where you put the sponsor in your video. So if a company offers to put the sponsored segment at the end of the video, you will charge a lower price. However, if they want it at the beginning of the video, which 99% of sponsors will want it at the beginning of the video, then you are going to have to charge them a higher price. So you're going to charge them a high price right here. Now, typically you can actually charge double by putting the sponsor at the beginning of the video instead of the end of the video. And the reason for that is because the audience retention graph, which is essentially how many people stay on the video, looks like this most of the time, right? So if they're at the end of the video, they're naturally going to be getting a much lower amount of people than they would at the beginning of the video. So the sweet spot is really to do it in this range right here, kind of about 3 to 5 minutes into the video. That is the best place to put a sponsored segment. Now, it will be a little bit less. You can still charge a very high price because it's in the first half of the video, but it's not too far at the start to where it might hurt your video's views because people click off because there's a sponsor. The second one is dedicated videos. Now, on a dedicated video, you're doing a sponsorship for the entirety of the video. So the entirety of the video is sponsored, 100% of it. And the only scenario where you should actually do this is if it's a product that really fits in with your audience and that you already use a lot. So for example, for me, I only have one sponsor that I'll do dedicated videos for. And that's because I use them literally every single day. I use them with all of my clients and I shout them out all the time. And that one is Poppy AI for me because I just use it to write all of our client scripts with AI. I'm not sponsored to say that, by the way, but check it out if you want AI scripts. So for dedicated videos, you can typically charge 2 to 3x the amount that you would charge for a sponsored segment. So whatever your sponsored segment rate is, which by the way, to determine your sponsored rate, you want to take your RPM, your revenue per mil, revenue per 1,000 views, and then times that by 3. I'll put this on the screen so it makes sense. But that is how you find your sponsored rate, and that's for a dedicated video. And a 30 or 60 second integration is going to be roughly about 1/3 of that. So that is how that works. And then the third way to do it is having a long-term sponsor. Let's say you have 4 videos in a month. This could be a deal that you sign with that sponsor for a 6 months, 1 year term, whatever it may be, to where every single month you post at least 1 video for them. And now what that gives you is it gives you a very fat upfront paycheck. And what that gives them is a better price, to work with you and have you create videos about them, to where every single month, you're doing 1 video. They have that consistent stream of affiliate income coming in on their end, and you have that fat paycheck at the beginning. Now, I've seen creators with less than 100,000 subscribers negotiate literally 6-figure paychecks for this, over $10,000 in a single month, and they get that at the start. They get paid 100 grand at a time, which is just ridiculous. So that's really the best scenario, because then you can actually integrate that into your channel. So for example, Colin and Samir, they signed a big deal with LinkedIn, and in every single episode, they have LinkedIn in the background, they have the branding, it's become part of their channel, right? Where if you can sign a big sponsor like that and then negotiate a long-term deal with them, that's usually the best scenario. But sponsorships plus AdSense are typically only around 10% of your earning potential on YouTube. So if you're earning $1,000 a month through AdSense plus sponsorships, you actually have the potential to be making $10,000 a month plus if you use something called The Third Door. The Third Door is a book by Alex Banayan that says that there's always a third but less popular option that will yield a much greater result. And on YouTube, this strategy is where the real money is made. In fact, it's generated me multiple 6 figures this year, while I'm only getting on average 5 to 10,000 views on every single video. Now, how is that possible? Well, I become what's called the industry expert. I've been studying YouTube for my entire life, posted thousands of videos, and learned what works and what doesn't work within the algorithm. That allows me to help other people get better results on YouTube, and people are happy to pay me for that. For example, we grew one of our clients, Joel, from only 5,000 subscribers to over 250,000 subscribers in under 1 year. And that allowed him to make over $6 million during that time. Now, Joel alone has paid me over $100,000 to do that service for him. It's extremely profitable for him, it's profitable for me, and you can do that too. If you are an expert at literally anything, you can charge money for it. If you know how to bake sourdough, people will pay you to learn. If you're a health nerd, people will pay to have you help them be healthier. These are all real businesses that we've helped start on YouTube. And to do this, all you need to do is just structure your channel in the right way. It's called a YouTube funnel, and it looks like this. So this is a content funnel, and this is how you turn viewers into buyers on your channel. So at first, we have top of funnel content. This is one of our clients, Joel Kaplan, who we essentially scaled all the way to over $500,000 per month on YouTube. And the way that we did it was simply by implementing this funnel. So top of funnel content is simply just content that applies to your entire audience. For Joel, he talked about how to build a marketing agency. So as you can see, the only SMMA, which stands for Social Media Marketing Agency, the only SMMA guide you'll ever need. That video applies to every single person who wants to start a marketing agency. Same for this one. I started an SMA from scratch to prove it's not luck. That applies to pretty much every single person who wants to start an SMMA. Same thing here, 6 genius SMAs to start in 2024. That applies to pretty much everyone who wants to start an SMMA, right? I grew 100 SMAs from scratch. That applies to everyone. So top of funnel content is always everyone in your niche. Then we move on to middle of funnel content. And as you can see, we typically make less of this middle of funnel content than we do the top of funnel, because our number one goal is always to attract new people onto the channel. And then we use the middle of funnel to educate them, give them value, and eventually push them down to the bottom of funnel. But we'll talk about that in a second. For middle of funnel, it's just value videos. It's videos that answer questions that the viewers have and talk about specific topics within your niche. So a question that someone who's starting a marketing agency might have is, what niche should I pick? So we made this video answering that question, talking about niches. What is the best niche to make $10,000 in? Same thing here. People have the question, how do I onboard a client successfully? This video teaches them how to onboard a client. Then you have this one right here, and this is how to get appointments. So somebody's wondering, how do I actually get appointments for my business? Well, this teaches them how to do it. So as you can see, on average, these videos have less views than these videos, and that's because they're more specific. They're not really trying to go extremely viral, unlike these ones. These ones, the goal is to get 194,000 views, 62,000 views. But these ones will probably get around 20 to 50% of the views that the other videos videos would. Then after we have these videos, we also post bottom of funnel content. And as you can see, this is the lowest volume of content. So on this one, for every 4 videos on the top of funnel, we post 3 videos middle of funnel and 2 bottom of funnel. So on here, we have case studies and testimonials about people that you've helped, right? So this is one of Joel's students, Ben, who makes over $50,000 per month online. We decided to fly him out, host a full interview with him, and explain his story about how he was able to scale to over $50,000 per month and how Joel was able to help him do that. Same thing for Sean over here, who does over $300 million in revenue. He essentially was a student of Joel when he was first starting out, and we decided to have him on the podcast and talk about his journey. These videos are not meant to go viral. These are simply just meant to show people that what Joel teaches actually gets results, and that it convinces them to go in and book a call with Joel to see if it's a good fit to work together. Now, what we do from here is where the real magic happens. What you really want to do is you want to funnel all of this content down from the top of funnel, the middle of funnel, the bottom of funnel content. Every single time that those videos end, you want to send it back to what we call a conversion video. So our conversion video was a free course video. Now, what that would be is a 5-minute video that tells people, hey, we're giving away this free course. They go click on that video, then all they have to do, enter their email, they get the free course, and then they get the option to also book into a sales call. Just a simple free giveaway. And we were able to generate over $500,000 per month with that, sending all of these videos back. So at the end of the Only SMMA guide, we'd say, hey, if you want a completely free course on how to start a marketing agency, go ahead and watch this video next. And then we'd send them back to this one. Then at the end of the middle of funnel videos, you could be like, now that you know how to choose your niche, the next step is this. And we go over all of that in our free course. So go ahead and watch this video next. In the case studies, you could end it off with, go ahead and check out this video next if you want to watch our free course. So these all funnel back to this one conversion video right here that we know generates cash and that we know gets customers. Now, once you have the funnel set up, you need to build your product. And here's how to build one in the next 1 minute. A good product does one thing very well. It gets the desired outcome that people signed up for. Let's use handstands as an example. You simply want to ask yourself, what is the best way for someone to learn a handstand from scratch? In my head, that would look something like a dedicated 90-day program where you give a person daily training modules they can follow along with and practice with. In week 1, it would be trying to do a handstand on a wall. Week 2 would look like trying it on the grass for the first time. Week 3 would be holding it for your first 3 seconds. In week 4 would be trying to get to 10 seconds. This would go on until day 90, where you slowly work your way to doing it for an entire minute. If somebody follows that program and then dedicates 30 minutes per day to practicing, they are very likely to get that result. And you can also offer a guarantee. If you follow along with all of the training and you do 30 minutes of exercise per day and you're not able to do a handstand by the end of it, then we'll give you an entire refund. That way there is absolutely no risk to the buyer. So when building a product, you always want to be thinking, how can I get this person a result the fastest way possible with the least effort on their end? And then make it an absolute no-brainer for them to sign up. If you do this and then continually refine your product through feedback and new information, you can build something that you can sell for a lot of money. And in the beginning, you can even do this for people for free to get some testimonials, get your first few customers. And that way you can make sure that you're delivering a great program that really gets people results before anyone ever pays you. Now you might be thinking, oh, I'm not an expert, but almost everybody watching this video is an expert at something. And if you follow this process, you can start making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per month, even if you have less than 10,000 subscribers. I know this because it's exactly what we've done for over 100 clients now. For example, we helped Esteban close a $17,000 deal his first month working with us. Or Nathan, who helps people start and build AI marketing agencies and is consistently closing multiple 4-figure deals every single month from YouTube. Or even Griffin, who helps therapists get more patients, close an $8,000 deal. And they all use this exact system. Okay, now you have the entire system to create a $5,000 per month business on YouTube. But there's a specific strategy that I've started doing recently that's allowed me to 10x my income on YouTube without making more content, spending more money, or working more. So check out this video where I show you the entire system that I use to generate over $1 million on YouTube. Thanks and have a great day.